Yeah, but there's a
That's a
certain
bit
extent
far.
between going to I had to do this to survive and doing something illegal.
Is Article 13 going to be like net neutrality? Is it going to be enforced for a short amount of time and then just go? Because net neutrality was actually passed, but then nothing ever happened about it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JRB podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and I'm again joined by...
Reese.
You're always great at this.
It's
There's
always,
nothing really to say though.
I guess.
it's the way he says it. He just goes, Reese, without the silent pause. Yeah, and obviously I'm Billy, or Billy Burns SFW on YouTube, as always.
Subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Reese, are you starting up a YouTube channel?
I started one up just for the portfolio at school, but I'll probably be starting to actually upload some actual footage.
We spoke about it in college, haven't we?
Yeah, I was thinking about eventually I'll be able to get a better laptop or something that I'll be able to edit better on. So in the future, look out for other videos like that.
Yeah, and obviously, well, I'm not sure what your channel is, but if you link it to me and find it, we'll obviously link it.
Yeah,
I found it yesterday and I watched your stuff on it, so yeah. Anyway,
you have to send that to me.
today, because we skipped a week, we have a lot of topics to talk about.
Yeah.
I think we skipped 2 weeks actually.
It's been,
Yeah.
So there was a big... I think we should explain why the reason was.
Yeah, it's the reason why I'm wearing sunglasses. Obviously, I'm not trying to be Casey Neistat right now. The reason why I'm wearing sunglasses is because about 2 weeks ago, I had surgery to fix my lazy eye. And surgery's gone well. I can see obviously perfectly fine now. But my eye is still very bloodshot and red.
Yeah.
It's a bit
It's
swollen.
just not as pleasant to
Yeah,
see
and
if you put it like that. Not in a rude way.
No.
Well, yeah, but no, it's the truth though. A lot of people have said to me, like, keep your sunglasses on. Like,
Genuinely, I don't care.
yeah,
Like,
I know,
life's
but
life.
I've had mixed reactions about it, so I think I'll put sunglasses on, Never thought I'd be wearing sunglasses indoors, but,
Yeah, so that was the reason as to why there was no episode last week.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, obviously due to that,
A lot
there's
of,
more
like,
topics.
Time restraints were there as well. So.
Yeah.
We just couldn't really find a way to film
Yeah.
that, like, fit around what Billy had to go do and stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing as he had to rest for a week at least,
Oh, yeah. Well...
even to see properly.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, after the surgery, I had double vision, and... So they said when you have the double vision, you have to rest because even though it's only your eye, if I was to strain, that could damage the repaired eye muscle.
Yeah,
Then
and then you'd have to do it again. Yeah.
So I spent about a week resting, so I couldn't obviously go out. But we are back now. We're finally back on air.
So,
No, I'd say that.
Yeah.
so some of the topics we talk about may be a little outdated, but we still want to talk
At least
about
we're
them.
trying to get it out there and get.
Yeah,
our
we have
point.
some like
points out
opinions
there.
to get across.
So I think the first thing we should mention is about us changing platforms.
Yes.
Now, I want to say something, guys. JRB did an oopsie with
No,
SoundCloud.
JRB didn't. Billy didn't.
Oh,
Oops.
We're a team. We take responsibility, even though I was the one
Okay,
that did
fine.
it. But
yeah,
you know,
it's all our fault.
Well,
no, I'm joking. It was my responsibility.
I came up with the idea of going and putting it on SoundCloud because I had recently, at the time, I was listening to the J.R.B podcast before they got the Spotify deal on there, and I thought that was quite a good place to put it because there were still a few other podcasts that were on there as well, which had a Spotify deal after. Basically, yeah, Spotify was taking a lot of people from SoundCloud, but SoundCloud I thought was a good thing because it brought creators that were very low to quite a pedestaled place. They like putting low creators quite high up. It's quite an underground platform.
That's where what's his name, XXXTentacion and Post Malone. They got big
started
from
there,
SoundCloud.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of my music from SoundCloud. It's not like the cringy SoundCloud rappers that people take the piss out of.
Yeah.
It's actual music creators. So like you've got like J. Cole on there sometimes.
Yeah, J. Cole's good.
I forgot J. Cole was on there.
But although a lot of like
Stuff like Logic's really old stuff that I enjoy. Is
like
on
his
there.
mixtape Logic. Yeah,
really good stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah, album Logic or mixtape Logic?
my Logic.
Grandpa's spaceship.
Album Logic?
But yeah, what you
I'm
say,
sorry,
Bruce?
I had to decline there. That's a
No,
reference to...
I do like
Grandpa's
Logic's like old albums, but he generally after
Under Pressure is one
the
of my
Greatest
favourites,
Journey or something. What's
The
it called?
Incredible True Story.
That's the
yeah.
Incredible True Story. After that, I think he fell off for me as a.
I don't know. I liked Bobby Terry.
I quite liked Everybody.
I thought that was quite a good album.
I
Mixtape
didn't
album.
really like the first one.
I quite
really
like-
that much.
What,
But then
Under Pressure?
I listened to it again in like a very like studio kind of sit down, listen, critique it kind of way, and I like doing that. but I found that it was actually okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know, because I did think Bobby Tarantino's it was good. But
I thought it was
But
good.
what we're saying about SoundCloud. So
Yeah, we got a bit sidetracked there.
we have a bit of I guess the announcement now. We're not. I don't think we're on Spotify just yet.
No.
But we're working towards
I mean,
it.
we probably will by the time this comes up.
But the reason why we've changed over is because the thing is with SoundCloud now. I knew you had to pay for SoundCloud Go to listen without ads, but I thought you could upload unlimited for free on it. It turns out it's only a maximum of 3 hours.
3 hours, so
we've
a
surpassed the
podcast
limit.
will struggle with that.
Yeah, because the thing is with SoundCloud, here's the thing. I think for musicians, underground artists, I think it's a great platform for that.
Yeah.
For podcasts, however, I don't think it's the best option.
Yeah,
there are many options out there. Just do your research, look it up, and
stuff that we didn't do when we first started.
I mean,
I think we just kind of jumped into
it. We did to a moderate extent. We just wanted to get our points out there, really, and we wanted to get on with it.
Because I think when we said about having a podcast, we was a bit excited, and we thought it was just as simple
as
just
putting down
slapping
a
it
camera
on to YouTube and whatever, and that's it. We didn't realise you have to get a podcast host, have an RSS feed, and stuff.
Like all of these different things.
Because we're now using Anchor. Now, we're not sponsored by them. We're not paid to say this. I'm just saying this, my unfiltered opinion.
Just to inform you guys.
So,
I discovered quite recently by listening to a podcast that Spotify actually reached out to Anchor and got a partnership with them.
Oh, really?
It's either a partnership or they bought them. It was definitely something to do with Anchor and Spotify. But there's also another platform that brings podcasts with it as well. But they reached out to two like big platforms for podcasts, and that's basically by saying that Spotify was in the podcast game for like a few like hours, let alone, and decided to go and reach out to these big people and be like, come join our platform, it will help you out and we'll help you out. So genuinely, this platform we're on now, Anchor, has some sort of relationship with Spotify, so we will probably most likely be on Spotify.
Get on Spotify, hopefully get on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Google Play as well.
Speaking of recent controversy behind the two companies.
We just watched the video of Spotify's. It's on their YouTube channel.
I watched it
it's been out for 2 weeks, so
Josh refreshed his memory.
I did because I hadn't properly seen like the whole thing. I'd seen like little snippets of it on like Instagram and stuff, and then I watched the whole video. And to be honest, I agree with their points. I believe that video, it's slightly slanderous, and I understand that, but if you're not being treated fair in the industry, then there's nothing really else you can do.
No, you've got to address.
Is it slanderous though?
Sorry, what?
What do you mean by slanderous?
I mean that like
because if they have
obviously going at Apple, like saying other thing, but that's kind of what they need to do. So I agree with how they've gone about it.
I will play devil's advocate here by saying that with a business standpoint, iTunes and Apple are playing the right way.
Yeah.
They are playing to defeat their competitors.
Yeah, of course.
And they are doing that. But it's not a moral way. But
genuinely,
is business ever moral?
When it comes to business, nothing is necessarily morally right.
But when it affects the consumers, that's when it's wrong.
To a point, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to push your platform rather than Spotify, which is your competitor, wouldn't you stop these people from trying to get to Spotify instead of iTunes?
Yeah, but with that point, then you could also make the point that they have Spotify has every right to make that video.
Oh,
there's people out there being like, they
no.
shouldn't have posted this video, it's not fair.
Right.
But it is fair. And that's the point of the video. It's literally named "It's time to be fair" or something like that.
For podcast sake, I'm literally just doing this so it gets a different point of view.
Yeah,
but I do
100%.
I 100% agree with Spotify in the fact that they're addressing all of these problems that are being held, and so that the consumers can know what's going on and how this stuff happens. Hopefully, this will be fixed within the next few months or whatever. iTunes will become real people, and someone like Steve Jobs may come back. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Controversial territory there.
But no. Yeah, I think Spotify did a good job there.
I remember I saw that and I thought, to be fair, I've never seen a company just come out and straight up say how it is.
That's I like. What am I trying to say? I'm saying like, it makes perfect sense as to why they've done it, and I completely understand. Maybe it was a little bit far, and like the points they could have made in different ways that were slightly less. But what I'm saying is the only way that people are going to learn what's happening in the industry, because like obviously no one had known until they posted this video, and the only way they are going to learn is if they make videos like this. So I agree with the video. I just feel like they could have worded it slightly different.
But what you said about obviously potentially being slanderous, as long as they do have the right evidence to back up their claims, then it's not, you can't really say slanderous.
Yeah, and this goes back to what Bruce was saying earlier about like they're defending their business, but then you could say the same for, like Apple's like, oh, they're trying to push it out, but then you could say the same for Spotify, because that's just how it is in the world.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer Spotify over Apple Music, mainly because it has songs on there that aren't.
I would like to say something
Go
on behalf of saying that Spotify is bad, because
yeah, no, fair. That's fair.
they've came to the point where it's practically impossible, and they've practically pushed you to the edge where you have to buy their premium in order to actually listen to the things you want properly and the right time. Because otherwise it's either on shuffle or you get an ad every 2 songs.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You're only allowed to skip 6 times per hour.
No, that's fair. But then
Spotify
in the video,
has pushed you to the point where you have to buy premium in order to listen to the music you want.
With that, they've also, in the video, they spoke about how Apple were trying to push away that advertising. So like they have this thing where it's like 3 months for premium for 99p, which is very, very good and reasonably priced. And they're saying that like Apple is trying to push away that advertising, which isn't right. I see from a business perspective. Yeah, I see from a business perspective why they would do it, but I still don't believe it's right, because in the end, it's not the companies that are getting affected; it's the consumers, and that's not right. So yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, a business is gonna do what they want, whether it's morally right or not, that's debatable. But if a business sees an opportunity in their eyes, they are going to go for it. And I think that's something you have to accept with businesses. Because I used to get so worked up at things, thinking like, oh, it's not fair. But then over time, I've accepted that it's their business in the day. They're going to do what they want.
Genuinely, what it comes to in life is profit.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole world runs around and is powered by a piece of paper with a number on it.
Yeah, that is.
It's the sad truth. It's true.
That is actually.
That is what it is.
Damn.
But
anyway,
the world will not run without a currency of some sort.
It's a catch-22.
Because genuinely, back when like cavemen were a thing, people were trading like their special club for like knowledge of fire and shit like that, and like the sharp stone for a pig, or a chicken for 10 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
And things like
That's
this.
just a very basic version of what's happening.
Yes, that is what currency is.
100%.
It's just a matter of value. Yeah. And this piece of paper has become the highest value now, because people have thought, let's make it easier and set it to this one thing rather than having actual possessions.
Yep. That's the way the world works, obviously. So a lot of people see it as a negative, but that's just the way the world is. So you've got to see, okay, maybe is there a more positive side to it? And that's what you've got to look for. That's what I think anyway. I think there's always positives and negatives to everything. You can never be perfect with currency. It's always going to be flawed. And I just hit my microphone. Hopefully that does not peak.
But anyway,
because I don't have a shock mount.
What to take out of this is that we are moving over to Spotify. We are supporting Spotify in their fight against fair rights with Apple
and monetization in terms of
but obviously we're still gonna use Anchor to put ourselves on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. Don't know how long it's gonna take. And once again with SoundCloud, I still think it's a good platform, but it's just not for us. It's not for us because obviously
because 3-hour limit for free, and especially because we're quite a low
budget,
like low ref. Oh God, what's the word?
Low. You trying to say low budget?
No,
I said that.
Oh, did you?
Low ref.
No, don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
Basically,
carry
low
on.
income kind of company.
well, little to none. Income.
Basically, we're a company. Essentially, we are
If you you can look at it that way.
that we're a branding company that essentially hasn't really got any money, and we're just coming up in the world of like actual medium.
Yeah, but everyone's got to start from somewhere.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I watched
No,
Joe Rogan
and,
episode 1 the other day, and it's literally just him sitting in front of a webcam.
And I'm just saying, apparently a lot of people start off with literally just recording on their phones, and I'm pretty sure by having actual mics, we're doing like we've put the right foot forward in that type of thing.
100%.
Anyway, I feel we should move
but
along.
the one thing I want to say is with SoundCloud
Apart from
before we
this.
go. So obviously we're going to leave our SoundCloud page up, but if you want to look at the
But
old
yeah,
episodes on there,
Yeah.
you're still free
Just-
to.
It's a good place to see where we started.
There was one thing I was gonna tell Billy. I told Billy this before. I said that we could do a kind of a cycle of our episodes going up if you really want to listen to it on SoundCloud. Because yes, I do understand that having it on YouTube is quite hard if you're on the go, because you've got to have the actual app open while it's on your phone or whatever, rather than having like just the audio and closing and locking the phone and putting it in the pocket.
I only disagreed with that idea because if a new viewer finds us through SoundCloud, they're going to think, where's the other episodes at?
Yeah,
Do you
but
know
we
what I mean?
have that our link in the description, and we always plug it right at the end. I believe.
So like I said, so to summarise, obviously we're expanding to more platforms. SoundCloud page is still going to be left up.
But yeah.
but don't listen. But we're not going to put new episodes on there because we've got better opportunities.
But
now.
I mean, just tell us.
Still like SoundCloud,
Tell us what you think about that idea. If you like it, we'll do it, and if you don't, then
yeah,
forget it.
Anyways, so
I feel like we should start with stuff that happened last week.
I did not expect that to be that long, but go ahead, Josh.
But so I want to start with the Shane Dawson controversy. Obviously, at the time of recording and hearing this, it will be a couple of weeks old, but it's still something I would like to talk about and give my opinions about. Basically, people what's the word I'm looking for? Accusing Shane of doing some naughty business with a cat.
This was from a previous episode of his podcast that he had recorded.
2015, I think.
2015. I mean, come on, we know it's a joke. Shane's
Yeah,
humour is
literally.
like that.
Right, people are too fucking serious about
I want to
shit like
say,
this.
I want to
Come
say
on.
one thing about Shane Dawson. When I was 12/13, I was a bit too young to watch him, but I used to watch him a lot back in year 8. And that's what he was like. He was really edgy and he was really vulgar, but he did it in a light-hearted way.
Yeah.
And when I listened to that, I thought, that just sounds like the old Shane I used to know.
Yeah, it sounds like a dark-humoured person who's
Was he over the
having
top?
a laugh.
Yes. But at the end of the day, that's the Shane that I used to know.
Yeah.
And he has cleaned up his act now.
No, I feel
You say clean up,
Well,
but
cleaned up his act.
that's
but-
just genuinely who he is as a person.
Oh, maybe
It's
not
more or less
cleaned up
just the
his
fact that
act.
he's become more PC in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe cleaned
No,
up
he's
the
become
act's
more
the
serious.
wrong thing to
He's
say.
become more
but
serious with like the documentaries. He's become more like
Shane, he's grown as a
someone you
person.
listen
Because,
to.
like I said, I've watched Shane for years, and I have seen him grow as a person. Nowadays, he is a lot more careful, and you can tell he does kind of take
but
it
is
a
that
bit more
really his
seriously.
fault? Especially with the state of YouTube as it is.
It's not the
You
only
can't
YouTuber.
afford. He can't afford to make vulgar jokes and make dark humor thing because at the end of the day, it comes down to
I will
money.
say
Again, like we were
something.
talking earlier, it comes down to money because if he did that, then you get like barely any money from it.
I will say something.
Yep.
Hat films
Yep.
don't censor don't censor content. Don't like. Basically, as soon as the apocalypse came, they were like, "No, we're going to continue as what we used to be.
That's respectful.
We're not going to force ourselves into this algorithm, this pathway that you've decided."
Yeah, that's respectful.
In terms of the fact that we want to portray our creative medium, our creative idea, our vision to the audience that we want. Although they do get help from the join button that is on YouTube, they get help from Patreon, and they get help from Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Twitch is
But
quite good.
they do.
If you're big.
What they did in the past is that they've been a very heavy stream creators.
Yeah,
so very
yeah, I can
heavy
agree
in
with
the
that, yeah.
terms of stream kind of creators. As that's what They are.
No,
really.
that's respectable. I give full credit and respect to the people that haven't changed, but I also understand why people have changed.
Oh, 100%. I'm not arguing that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing. The thing that we all used to love about the internet was the fact that back in like between 2007 to 2012 time, it was kind of moving away from that, like the whole having to be PC. The internet used to be a place where it was just yourself, but now that it's become more big, it is becoming more commercialized.
I feel like as well, like something that's kind of heartbreaking with this is the fact that after, like, as this controversy was going on, he proposed to his boyfriend.
Oh yeah,
and that's lovely, and obviously he's put a lot of time and effort and
I'm not gonna lie, I was really proud of Shane when I saw that.
That's been undermined. That moment in his life has been undermined by this thing, and I feel that's a horrible thing to feel, because that is again probably one of the most special moments of someone's life, and having it undermined by in 2015 you said you shagged your cat.
I know,
it's just ridiculous.
I sat there and I saw it. When I saw him get married, I was like, congratulations. Like I said, I've seen Shane grow over the years, and I was so happy to see him obviously get married.
As a person himself, then yes, it is quite a big thing for him to especially do this.
Yeah.
Although, I would like to say that in this generation, a lot more people aren't proposing. A lot of people aren't getting married. It's literally getting lower and lower. Although saying that, one of my family members is getting married who has been together for like 20 years probably. 20 years probably.
Fair enough.
And they hadn't got married. They got 3 kids.
But then you can make the argument that you don't need a ring to prove to someone that you love them.
No, that's what. Yeah,
because marriage is a legal thing, if anything. That's a legal document.
It's just to say, oh yeah, I am legally binded with this person and this family. This is who I am. Blah blah. It just makes it easier in documentation. Genuinely,
and it's a contract as well, saying like, well, money's going to be split this way.
Yes,
it's just more of legal things, and
even that way, you can get something in which that you defeat the whole money splitting thing. If you were to divorce or something, that the money would go just to you. Like, say if you earned more than your partner, you signed a document that allowed you to just get your money, and they wouldn't get any of your money. What recently happened with the guy who owns Amazon, I'd say recently, this was a while ago actually, I'm pretty sure. Him and his wife split up over some controversial things. I think there was cheating involved and talking to other people involved apparently on his part. She left him, obviously being the biggest almost one of the biggest millionaires in the world right now, the person who has most money right now, supposedly, has just split half of it with someone who's just left him, which is hilarious in a way, but it's also very devastating on his part.
But then, what can you do if you chose to get that contract in the beginning? You have to be prepared for the repercussions.
If you think about it, he was the one who chose to do all this year. But then again, if he's the one who's built up that company. He's the one who's built all that money up. In a way, I guess that is kind of wrong that she gets half the money. But then
it's debatable. It depends on the context.
Devil's advocate.
Everything.
Yeah,
no, you always play that, but
because generally, if I don't do this, we become yes men.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. That's why Reese is good for it. Because me and Biddy agree mostly on the same things, and you.
I agree.
You agree with us, but you still want to have that. I want to get
that other point of view across, and be like.
Sometimes I forget.
But that makes it interesting because I've listened to podcasts where they all agree with each other, and it's like, where's the chemistry? Where's the?
It's like, oh well. Yes.
What do you think of this?
Oh,
yes.
Speaking of controversy.
Oh shit.
Something that recently has come up, very recently.
I hate that.
With what?
Whenever someone says like recently, I get alerted as though I've heard my name.
Recently, yeah. But,
oh god, no.
Because it's
within the past few days. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
A very famous person going by the name of Cardi B has fallen into a lot of controversy due to her early stages of life and what she used to do. Have you guys heard of this?
I know what she used
No,
to do
I
in her
haven't.
early
Have you
life.
not?
No.
Right.
My
So
mate,
this is gonna be brilliant.
my mate told me about it.
Okay.
Shout out to Daniel. He might be coming on
Hey.
a future episode. But
Yeah,
he
man.
was on the phone to me the other day, and he was telling me about this. But just say it anyway. 'cause
Yeah.
I'm a bit-
So what happened was before Cardi B became as popular and well known as she is now, she used to do some very, very wrong things, in my opinion. And,
Well,
it depends, but what I'm saying is, she used to go out to clubs and
She was a stripper, wasn't she? All
sex worker.
sex worker.
And she'd meet men and she'd take them back to she'd go back to theirs, or
She
they
took
come
up
back.
with them, basically.
No,
It's like a
they
one-night stand
that's
thing.
what they thought was happening. They thought that she was hooking up with them, but then when they got back to the place, she then drugged the men and then robbed their money and then left.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no.
So-
This kind of thing is quite popular in
Yeah,
like some circumstances.
but people she's saying, "Oh, I did what I have to do to survive,"
Mm.
and well, no, for a start, because that's just disgusting
It's
behaviour.
yes
in my opinion.
and no.
And there's people out there that are with her, she did what she had to do. But then you could say the same thing about other people that have done rubbish things that have been arrested.
Right,
and
so
put in
the
prison.
thing I just want to talk about saying now, because I'm sure she was a stripper at one point. I'm sure. I don't know
something
100%,
like
yeah.
that.
Now, so I know
Or a
some
performer.
single mums, or I don't know if she was a mum or not, but some people have to do that to make ends meet. I think, okay, if you're going to do that to make ends meet, I can fully understand why. The drugging part, I think.
Yeah, but there's a
that's
certain
bit
extent
far.
between going to I had to do this to survive and doing something illegal
Oh, yeah, no.
and wrong and just wrong.
The drugging part was a bit, because when I heard that drugging part, I was like, okay, no, that's a bit far. If you got to do other things to make ends meet.
What I was going to
Depending on
say
what it is.
before I heard about the fact of the drugging part and the stealing and whatever, I was going to say the past is the past.
Yeah, no.
I hate it when people bring up what
No,
people have done in the
to a
past.
certain extent I agree,
Like-
but when that thing is something like that, that's wrong.
My only
And
issue
I believe she
is
should
the drugging and
she should
robbing.
I don't.
face some sort of consequence.
I don't
She's not having
really-
anything done to her.
For them at the moment, I don't really know where to sit right now.
Yeah, no,
Neither
that's
do
fair.
I.
Situation.
I don't know the full story. So
I
I don't want to make an opinion and then.
Plus, I don't have the
Well, no, because-
have it
authority
be wrong.
to.
You know,
There's-
factually.
Yeah, there's memes on Instagram and stuff about Bill Cosby and they're comparing the two. I know there's slightly different things. See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up because of that reaction. But people are saying that he.
Oh,
did
did you hear
horrible
he got hit with a hot dog in prison? This was when he first went in there. He got hit with a hot dog in prison.
I
No,
do
but
not
what he's
know
saying
that.
is he did
But what
horrible.
was you saying?
He did horrible things,
It was
and he was
burger.
put in prison, and his entire reputation has been destroyed, basically because of his own fault. Now, what the controversy is that Cardi B's done something not as bad, but still terrible, and she's basically facing no repercussions for it, and her career is just it's not being
Yeah,
affected.
but they got
in any
in
way.
trouble for two different things.
Yeah, I agree with that, but even still, it's just
I don't
it's
think that's
just wrong.
I don't think that's that comparable, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
They're
fair.
two
That's
different.
fair.
It's like apple and oranges. They're both wrong in their own ways, but they're two different.
Yeah,
scenarios.
it has different values.
two different reasons why they're in trouble.
No,
It's
100%.
you basically what you've just said is compared
Awesome,
a sexual
sorry.
assault with theft.
Well, no, because that's another crime.
You are-
drugging
you
someone
are-
without their consent.
You are
is still,
abusing their naivety, and you're abusing the fact that they think that they're gonna get with you.
yeah.
That's what you are doing. Although
I'm
they're
not saying. Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're the same thing and that.
Oh, right.
one is worse than the other. I'm just saying that.
no, that's how it
she
came
should
across.
face maybe not all of the repercussions, but she should face at least something for her actions because I don't believe she should get away with it. And so many people out there are saying that she should, but in my opinion, I feel like she should at least have something. Because again, yeah, I know the past is the past, but what I'm saying, it's just not fair.
No,
You get what I mean?
no. I can't really say much upon this because I don't have
neither
the
can I.
authority to.
No, I just wanted to bring
You
it
lot
up just so
can't
we
either,
have
really.
something to
Yeah, because what
bounce off of.
Yeah.
it's fair enough.
It
right.
is it's a good thing to inform you. Lon, as a person who is quite popular now to do that thing in the past, yeah, the past is the past, though, is what I would say.
Yeah, but
Although
then
I
you can say
can't.
the same thing about Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I
But
can't really.
that's apples and oranges, though.
Yeah,
They're
I
still
can't
bad,
really.
but in their own different ways.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything on it.
Yeah,
if
I don't really wanna
if
say
I
No,
did,
but what I'm saying is, if the past is the past, then Bill Cosby should be have the same consequences. Obviously, he's not, and I don't believe he should.
he is. He's in prison.
That's what I'm saying, but she's not.
Mm.
If you get what I mean, and like her career hasn't been
Well,
slandered
I think
in
what
any
we
way.
should do is
It
we'll
has.
see what
I'd say it
happens.
has slightly, but then again, all publicity is good publicity.
I beg to differ on that.
I don't know.
But what I want to say is,
It's just my opinion.
what I will say is, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens
Sorry, the
with Cardi
Pringles
B.
were tempting me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same.
I mean, the Crips.
Okay.
We're not promoting. No.
If you want to sponsor us, Pringles, hit us up.
I would love that.
Like, even if you don't have to give us any money, just give us some Pringles. It's fine.
Yeah, just get a delivery truck of
Nah.
Pringles to our house.
Just chocolate.
But yeah, so
Right.
that was he.
So Billy was telling me about something earlier that you wanted to discuss.
So if you guys heard someone's dog's barking, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, sorry, that happens quite a lot.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
But basically, so what I want to say is, Article 13. One, they've changed the name to Article 17 now.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure
heard
why
about
they've done that, but
that.
but did you hear it's been passed?
Yeah.
Article 13's been passed.
There's an actual thing that's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been passed. Well,
Shut the fuck up.
oh god, yeah. So if you heard, it's been passed now. The EU Parliament. It was, I think, 370 something to about 200 and something.
Mm.
And because obviously people voting for Article 13 have got higher votes, it's been passed.
Mm.
Now,
You probably won't hear a dog, by the way.
yeah.
Just-
But do you think now the thing is
Still,
though,
we can
a
get
lot
rid
of
of it,
people
but-
are saying, will it affect the UK?
Not really.
Because if we get it
In
depends.
a way, yes, but in a way, no.
I'd like to speak my opinion on this, but I genuinely don't know, to be honest. I
I-
know that it's
you
going to
know-
affect like memes
you know what
and like
article?
content creators
You know what
and stuff
Article
like that.
13 is? It's
Yeah, I know about it, but what
a
I'm
lot
saying
of
is I don't
copyright
really
will be very
care.
heavy.
I do care, but
Anything that will be public towards the internet will be very heavy
Yeah.
in terms of the European. So any UK content creator with a very heavy European audience will be affected massively if they will use any kind of like copyright content in any way, such as like a little snippet of like music or like
Yeah.
something, basically anything with copyright on it.
it
will be-
it
will-
defeats the purpose of fair use as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Article 13.
I don't know. There will obviously, I think there will obviously be a way around it though. I don't think it will be necessarily if like, oh yeah, it's like 1 second clip of like music that they accidentally slipped on. There will be some leeway in between that. I think that's what's going to happen.
A lot of people,
I don't think it will just be shut down. Bang, you're like hit with this. Like,
because I've
marketing
seen such a
thing
mixed reaction like,
against this, but
a lot of people are freaking out saying like, no, it's going to change the internet in a bad way. It's going to obviously copyright is strict enough. It's going to be more strict, and it's going to mess a lot of content creators up. But then I've heard a fair amount of people say it's blown out of proportion. It's not as bad as it sounds. I've seen such a mixed reaction on Twitter because when Article 13 was first announced, everybody was freaking out.
oh
it
yeah,
definitely did get
but
blown out
now
of proportion.
it's like kind of split.
it's
both
like
ways.
it's like
definitely
Brexit.
blown.
It's exactly like Brexit. not
Oh,
not like
no, it's not.
not like that, but like as in like it started. Well, for me at least. I can't say for everyone.
Why?
Like,
Because
what-
you were enlightened and what was actually
Well, no, because
happening.
when Brexit first,
You okay there?
you good. When it first started, I was like, oh, okay, I understand all this thing, but everything that's happened so far, I'm just like, I don't really know what's gonna happen, and it's the same thing. Maybe I shouldn't have said it's like, but in my opinion,
You
it's
basically
sort of
didn't do your research.
basically, yeah.
A lot of people didn't, and that's why it got blown out of proportion. I haven't actually done the research, but as I assume, I think there'll be some leeway in between a lot of this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was like 14, I used to study law and politics so much. And I got really into
nerd.
I got,
it. You know, nerds rule the world, right? If
Yeah,
it weren't for nerds, you wouldn't have computers and stuff. So.
Shut up, man.
no.
But what I want to say is though about obviously
I
studying
also
it.
did that as well.
Um,
Like 2 years ago.
I used to be really into it, but as I've kind of grown up, I've kind of realised that I don't really know a lot about it now, but I've kind of realised that yes, even though we do have votes, at the end of the day, the people higher up, it's like with businesses, they're gonna do what they want. And I used to get so worked up about it, but I just kind of accept now that you just have to see how things go and experience them. Maybe that's not the right opinion, but that's my opinion on things. I've kind of learned to just observe, and
that's how I go about life. I like to watch what happens and sit on the fence about any controversy ever.
that's what I do.
Normally, that's how I go about life.
And then I usually learn from other people's mistakes. And think, okay,
Yeah,
that's
how
how
can I
everyone
apply
develops.
that?
Normally, you should do.
Yeah, I'm much like that, unless I'm very passionate about something.
Oh yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, if there's a controversy about something, I'll be like, yeah, like I can agree on both sides. But if it's something I'm properly into and know all the facts about, then I will pick a side on what I believe.
Pick a K. Sorry.
What?
There's the one thing I compared Article 13 to. Once again, they're not exactly the same, but remember net neutrality?
Oh god, no.
That was practically the same. Yeah.
I was
That
comparing
way-
it to
that came and went within like
In a
3
way.
months.
So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, is Article 13 going to be like net neutrality? Is it going to be enforced for a short amount of time and then just go? Because net neutrality was actually passed, but then nothing ever happened about it. So will Article 13 or
feel
17
like
be the same?
If it's a failure and many people are complaining about it, then it will go along that line. Because that's kind of how net neutrality ended. Because everyone was just like, this is bad, I don't like this. And like, if people were saying the same thing about Article 17, then I feel like the same thing will pass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, but it's also because with net neutrality, even though it was only happening in the United States, I still got really fired up about it, and I was reading so many Twitter videos, I was watching reaction videos to Ep.5. I was sitting there thinking, I don't know how this will affect the UK, but I got really into it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, like, damn, like our internet is going to be
Very limited to what it is.
yeah, maybe to some extent destroyed. But then nothing ever happened about that. So when Article 13 started happening, once again, I got worked up about it, but I thought, actually, learn from before. Is it blown out of proportion? Will it have the same effect as net neutrality? Will it just come and go? And that's what I'm curious to see. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm 17, so I can't vote anyway.
Yeah, well, I can.
Well, yeah, you're 18. Lucky sod. It was fine. Well,
I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to do. Like, literally,
You're just one of them who won't
I'm one of those
vote
people
ever
that
in
I'm
his
just
life.
like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to do what everyone else does.
Oh, great.
Apart from, like, Brexit. Like, that one I was, like, firmly...
I will speak on this Brexit thing right now. There was a petition that was happening quite recently that actually passed the goal that they wanted, that would actually be debated in Parliament as an actual thing. I think about 3 million, 5 million people signed it electronically, like
Yeah.
All right.
like going on the internet and whatever.
Yeah.
And this petition was like ready up for debate in Parliament, and it is to debate whether Brexit should be a thing or not.
Well, no, because, right, with
And
that...
it's debate the fact that Brexit should end, and that's 3 million, 5 million people have
Yeah,
signed it,
as
which
much-
isn't a lot, but it is.
As much as I would like us to remain, now that we've made the choice, we should leave, because if that happens and we do have another referendum, then there's no, like...
No,
that
we
can't...
won't have another referendum.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, if it doesn't pass, like if Brexit doesn't happen, because I believe that it should happen now, not because I want it to happen, but because that's what people voted for. And if it turns out that we don't leave the EU,
50% of all the people that voted leave want to remain now.
yeah, I know, 100%. Yeah, no,
50%.
yeah,
I think people
literally,
got the wrong idea.
literally. But what I'm saying is, if we don't leave, then you could say any decision made in Parliament or whatever isn't like the final thing. If you know, it can't. Like, I know what I'm trying to say, but
No, go away.
what do you mean?
Get out the door.
No, it makes sense.
Get out
It
the
makes
bin.
sense.
Did you just say get out the door?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
No,
I know
right.
what you mean.
If we don't leave the EU,
Reese, mate.
then
Get in the bin.
all the people that voted leave, they're going to be like, well, what the fuck, you know?
I don't know. The thing is with Brexit,
Because any choice,
you can go so deep into
Yeah,
it.
because if you have any choice and then you choose one choice and then a couple months later you're like, oh, I want to choose the other choice, then what's the point of, even having a referendum because if you're just
Apparently-
going to change it in the last second.
Apparently,
you know
it was
what I mean?
because people got the wrong idea.
Well, no. If
That's
In
what
my
I'm
head, it
saying.
makes sense, but the way I word
It
it
does
was
make
weird.
sense, but in actual fact, a petition was signed, so this many people want it to end. Then
Oh, yeah,
you've
no,
got
I
to debate
agree.
whether this many people want it to happen, but this many people want it to end. Then obviously you're going to go with the majority, aren't you?
Yeah, but then
But I don't know the actual
but the majority was
statistics and
the
whatever.
majority
right now.
was originally to leave,
Yes.
and so we should
And
face
a
that
lot of
consequence.
people were ignorant in that.
It's kind
Exactly,
of like, it's
Decided
kind of
to
like-
100%. But
I
what
get
I'm
what
saying
Josh is
is
saying.
they
It's like
can't-
reap what you
you
Oh,
sow.
no,
can't vote
I
for
understand what
something
you're saying.
and then a couple months later change your mind because that way, like, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
My brother's very good at explaining this. I'm trying to explain what he explained to me, but I can't word it the same way.
Oh, I try and do that. People tell me things, and I try and regurgitate what they say in my own way. But it's just like I can't remember what they've said.
So what you're saying is, you're thinking that Brexit just should happen because
Because that's what we voted for.
that's what was set in stone. That was what was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I want it to happen. I would love for us to remain, but that's how it has to be now
That's what
because
the
that's
people
what
have
the
said.
people said.
But then we've also signed a petition to end it.
No, that's what I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
No.
yeah, but if,
No.
no, because it comes across if it's any, if, like say it wasn't Brexit, say if it was like this Article 13 thing and it 17 thing, and it passed, but then like people were like, oh, I don't like this, like as it was about to pass, and then they changed it so it didn't pass. Then what's the point? Like, how are you going?
Half
I
of the
get- I
people
can see what you're
in
trying to say.
I
Parliament.
don't know how to word it.
No, I can see
Can I
what
tell
you're trying
you?
to say.
Can I tell you something? Half the people in Parliament that actually wanted to vote for leaving have left because they don't like the idea of Brexit.
I know that. I know, and
They-
I know how the country
They
has changed.
petitioned for Brexit and then left because they didn't
Yeah, no,
want
I'm
to
not
do
saying
Brexit.
that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, we can't then now change our minds over something this big. If you know what I mean.
You've said the same thing over and over
Yes,
again,
because
and
you're
it's not
fucking
coming
listening.
through. No, it's not coming through as an actual fact.
I
and
never
idea.
expected us to have a debate about politics on the podcast.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
I can see what Josh is trying to say. I don't. He's not.
We
wording
can't
it
vote for
properly,
something.
but
Right,
I
I'm
can
going to
see
sum it
it.
up in this. We can't vote for something, and then a couple months later be like, yo, I don't want this to happen, and then it just doesn't happen. Because that way, the people that did want to leave are going to feel unjust in the way of their decision. That's what I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, and I just tried to play devil's advocate and like bartered tons
No,
of
I know. I
arguments
completely
against
understand.
you.
I'm completely with you, but that's how it should be because that's what us as a country voted for.
I've noticed
I don't
Reece
agree
does
with
that.
I
it,
don't agree
but
with
that's
you.
how it
I don't
is.
agree with your opinion anyway.
It's not opinion. It's the fact.
No, it's your opinion. That you think that we shouldn't that vote should have gone through and set in stone, and that should have happened
Yeah.
because of these many people that voted.
Yeah.
I
Because
kind of
people
feel like we're
voted
going
for
around in
leave.
circles.
No, I'm just telling you what I think.
No, 100%. And I get with you because I'm literally with you. But what I'm saying is, now that we vote leave, we can't then change our.
Yes,
our mind.
I know. You don't need to re-say it.
Yeah, but I feel like you're
I
not
just
getting
ended it, and you just continued, Dave.
Dave.
I don't know why I said that.
Anyway, moving on.
Well, yes. Anyways, like
Reece.
I said, that was a bit of a different because usually we're always very on the same level. It was nice to have a debate for a change,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Reece, have
so,
you got stuff? Have you got anything you'd like to say?
I've wrote a few things down.
Did you say? What were you gonna say?
Speak about like topics.
No, I haven't got anything.
I've got a few
Oh.
things to say. So
Go on.
obviously, this is something that's been going around a lot recently. Two things. The first one is: have you seen the thing with Joe Weller and Jake Paul, the fight?
That's
No.
it. Yeah, the
Am I
sparring
getting
match.
Snapchats?
I want some.
Okay. Turn that on silent.
Yo, 1 minute, can I just...
Right, we're back. Reece
Right.
just had to get us a cushion for the stool. We're back. Anyway, Joe Weller and
you
Jake Paul.
wanted a glass of water.
You have a glass of water right there.
He wanted one.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, and that.
Right.
So yeah, Joe Weller and Jake Paul. Opinions.
Have you seen the fight race?
Link in the description for the fight.
Well, no, we ain't gonna put
No.
it in the description.
Yeah, man.
We're talking about it for like
I
a
haven't.
split second. But
Okay, ignore that.
Right, so basically, what it is that so Jake Paul and Joe Weller have sparred, but a lot of people are giving Joe Weller shit because apparently a lot of people say it's fake. It was Joe Weller was meant
Well,
to.
no,
lose the
they're not
spar.
saying it's fake. They're saying he was paid to
Full.
basically look like a pussy.
So yeah, it's kind
So
of
it was
it's,
fake.
yeah, it's scripted. Though.
It was scripted.
It's
Oh,
been
scripted,
set
yeah.
up,
It was set up.
Yeah.
but
It was
basically
fraud. It was a lie.
fraud.
Yeah, not fraud.
It
Yeah,
was
I-
a fraud. It
I
was a false
dis-
idea.
I disagree with the idea.
And
of
you're
fraud.
stealing people's money. I'm joking.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
What
I
are
was
you
about to-
talking
Was it a
about?
pay? No, I don't know. What
It wasn't
paid.
paid.
I haven't seen it.
No, it was on YouTube. They ain't got to pay for it. It's
Oh,
just
right.
a normal YouTube.
In all fairness, Joe Weller did
I
have some
thought,
good
I thought
punches.
it was like an
to be
actual
honest.
undercard type thing.
No, it was just a little sparring thing on YouTube. But basically, what it was is that a lot of people were saying that because Jake Paul did it looked like a soft punch what he did. Joe Weller just fell to the ground. And a lot of people were saying, I think that was meant to happen. I think Jake Paul said to him.
Yeah, but they say that
punch
in
you.
any boxing match.
Yeah,
They're
but-
like, oh, it's staged.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
they
Joe-
did
be a
this
lot
to
of
do that.
controversy
Of
anyway,
course.
Yeah, but
I
Joe
understand
Weller,
that.
he took some hard punches from KSI. He didn't fall to the ground there.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Jake Paul's punch was nowhere near as lethal or as hard as
Then
KSI's
again,
punch. Then he falls to the
Then
ground.
again, it's quite strange the fact that the way a punch looks, even though it looks sloppy,
Yeah.
it looks weak, maybe even stronger than
Yeah.
what the predecessor's punch was.
No, I
In
believe
terms-
that it was a true fight and that it wasn't staged.
Because even a weak punch could be the last punch you could take,
Yeah, I suppose.
and could take you to the floor.
Right.
I suppose
Can we
in
all
a
agree
way.
that the only reason that Jake Paul wanted to spar Joe Weller was to show KSI, oh, look how cool I am?
No, it was more like I'm harder than you.
Isn't
Isn't that the same
exactly
thing?
what I just said?
No.
Isn't
Well,
that
I'm cooler than you and I'm harder than you. Isn't that the same thing?
No. Why would that be the same?
Well, define hard first.
And
of all.
define cool.
Well, no, I just said that as a word, but like I agree. Like what you said is what I.
So
He's
you
trying
used
to
the wrong
prove.
word,
He's trying to
basically.
prove himself to KSI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
I
not
think-
even that. He's just being like, oh look, I can beat up this bitch as easy as
I can
you."
beat him up, but you're weak. So look at me, I'm stronger than you because I beat up.
But then
someone
that
who
leads back
beat-
into the controversy
you.
of being staged.
Was it Jake Paul or Logan?
Jake.
Jake. Which
So
is
no,
match,
that this doesn't matter.
Logan has had a sparring match with someone, but I haven't looked into that. I don't
So
know.
how does this matter to KSI?
Because
they
Joe
didn't
Weller
have a
had
fight.
Joe Weller had a fight.
Yeah, but Jake Paul didn't have a fight.
No, but he's going to after Logan and thingy.
Okay.
So basically, like, the big thing is that Jake Paul's hiding behind his big brother again. But like in KSI's most recent video, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming for you," and he is. I know. I believe that. I believe I firmly believe that he's gonna fuck up Logan, and I hope he does.
Who's this?
I've heard a lot of
KSI
people.
and
I've
Logan.
heard a lot of people beg to differ.
Mm.
Because I remember in the first fight, a lot of people think Logan Paul is gonna win just because he's taller and he has the reach and he has been doing martial arts for longer.
Mm.
But the thing is with the new
There's
fight,
only so much martial arts can help in a boxing ring,
depends what martial art you're doing.
like Taekwondo.
Taekwondo is quite good
But the thing
in
is, though,
terms of a boxing.
apparently the new fight. When do you guys think it's gonna happen? Because right,
Oh, it's definitely gonna happen, 100%.
Logan Paul. Because I watched.
I don't know when, but it will
Logan
happen.
Paul did an interview with Keemstar, and he said that Logan Paul thinks it would be nice to have it on August 25th as like a 1 year
anniversary
anniversary
Yeah.
thing. But apparently KSI doesn't want it till November.
No, KSI definitely wants it.
Oh, does he?
He doesn't want it. Maybe not for that day, but he definitely wants it to happen.
Then who wants it for November then? Because apparently it was supposed to be in
To be honest
November.
with you, I haven't kept up with
Yeah,
KSI. Well.
Yeah, the thing is the fight though. I mean, because it was supposed to happen in February, and I think we spoke about this on JRB episode 1. But then it was obviously cancelled because of the contracts or whatever.
I think the first boxing match, right at the end, I think that they planned it to be a tie
That's what a lot of people said. A lot of people said that.
because they wanted another match.
Mm.
Yeah,
No, I can see
I
that.
guess
I
you
think
could
there
make
was-
that argument.
And even before the fight had happened, there was already talks about a rematch. So
I think there was like quite a big thing about how it was. I think that it was good in the fact that of marketing that these two brothers were fighting each other.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
was like
definitely.
brotherhood
That was,
against brotherhood,
that was
Yeah.
that was a brilliant business
which was
decision.
good in terms of marketing. But I think
I think
I
Deji
think
gets a lot of shit.
I think
for
that
I don't believe
Deji
he
kind
should.
of jumped on it with KSI and went, this could make me big, and I think that he's been doing that for
Yeah, but
quite
the
a lot of
way-
his career.
The way he was fighting, he had minimal training, and I give respect to him because
He
amount
didn't
of
have as
blood-
much
the
as
amount of
KSI.
blood on thingy.
He didn't have as much as KSI.
Oh, he had minimal.
Deji had a controversial thing with KSI's trainer, and
Yeah.
he decided to go to a
And then
different
they
trainer.
went into in late December. They went into controversy.
But the thing is with KSI,
This
though,
guy.
I think he has an advantage.
Stop.
What?
Deji needs to stop.
Oh, Deji, right? Yeah. No, because you know that, like with the diss tracks and stuff.
Not gonna lie to you, right? I think KSI now Deji, if he trained hard enough, obviously could be a really good fighter. But in boxing, I definitely think height helps because if the taller you are, you generally have more reach. KSI is about 6 foot, but then Deji, I think, is the same height as me, about 5'8". So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
because
but
KSI is
even
taller.
if you're small, you can.
Oh no,
But-
you
but
can,
right, but
you
in-
can be
very
good.
nimble.
In the sparring match between Jake and Joe, they marked Joe's
Rey
height.
Mysterio. for
They
example.
they marked Joe's height as 5'6", and they marked Jake Paul's height at 6'2".
Jake Paul's not 6'2".
I know, and like if you look at them side by side, he's about. He could pass for 6 foot, but definitely not 6'2". And KSI even made a point about this.
Because
His
Logan
most recent.
Logan
Only 2
Paul is
inches,
6.
guys.
No,
Yeah, I know, but even still,
that's 5 centimeters. That is a fair amount.
it might not even be that. It might be like 10, 11, or no, wait, what was that? 5'11".
Well, because the
5'11"
thing
or
is though,
5'10".
because
So I'm
I've
5'10".
seen pictures of Jake and Logan together. Logan's 6'2". There is a fair amount of. Oh, that means bang on mic there. But there's a fair amount of space between their heights, and I noticed that. But what I was saying was in boxing, if you are small, you can be a good
nimble.
boxer still. But I think
If
height
anything, you
does.
want to be smaller
Because you're very
more
nimble.
Yeah.
You're very good at like getting quick jabs in. It's just your stamina.
Body shots and stuff.
It's
You
just-
won't have a lot of stamina, I think. Anyway, just
I'm
out of the
only
blue.
saying because of the reach. The taller, obviously, your arms.
Oh,
are
no,
Yeah, but you
100%.
can get in and out really quickly if you're small.
Yeah, like,
There's
that is a fair
positives and
point,
negatives of
actually.
both sides.
No side is perfect.
100%.
That's what I'd say.
Mm.
Because it's like with bit
You
of
can be
topic.
average between the two, but that's again, it's not perfect.
Oh yeah, nah, that's the thing though. But either way, this say what you want about the boxing match. I just want to see it happen.
Yeah, no, I do.
I think everyone does at this point because it has been dragged out.
I think Jake Paul
We
is
should
a
do
bit.
like an actual podcast live.
Depends
talk about it.
because of copyright though. They copyright the live stream.
We won't actually have the audio. We'll just have our reaction and what we think.
Yeah,
about it.
maybe. Yeah, we'll look into that. We'll just obviously have to consider copyright, but we'll look into that. Having that as an episode because a lot of people tried uploading reactions of
Because
the KSI Logan Paul
what was
fight,
it?
and they got copyright
True
strikes.
Geordie did that with, but then they know him.
Yeah, he was commentating it, so he probably had permission for it.
because he already had commentary.
So I mean, copyright is copyright infringement.
But in-
the way the media
in-
works.
In all fairness, right, the first person that KSI called out was Jake Paul, and Jake Paul is still kind of hiding behind.
Well, no,
Logan.
he
I'm not
said-
saying properly hiding because he definitely wants to fight him. But what I'm saying is he's like, "Oh, I'll only fight you if you fight Logan first." That's a little bit like.
He said, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care. He said, one of you.
Yeah,
two.
I know that, but what I'm saying is he called him out first. So obviously,
Does
it
that
was-
really matter though? I think he
I
just
don't know.
kind
I
of-
feel like there's a little bit of relevancy behind it, and I'd love to see KSI fuck both of them
Yeah.
up. But
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I say that a lot. The boxing thing, I think it's the best thing that could have happened to YouTube. Because, obviously a lot of people seem to have a negative view on YouTube and the whole community. But then this boxing match was like one of the biggest events in history. I think they said it was bigger than a lot of mainstream boxing as well. And yes, Jake Paul is a very controversial figure, and I don't like some of the things he's done. I don't enjoy Jake Paul's content or anything he does. But I have to admit, this boxing match, I think, is the best thing that could have happened to YouTube.
Oh,
And I am
yeah, no,
excited to
definitely.
see what can happen in the future.
And it's definitely brought KSI back into the thing because he used to be a very, very popular YouTuber. Then he went quiet for a few years, and then once all this started happening, he's become another one of the biggest.
It's like that.
Like,
a lot of
biggest YouTubers.
it's like with the undercards as well.
Yeah.
That gives
Are
a
you
lot
really
of
checking your
relevancy
phone
to
right now?
YouTubers.
Yes.
This guy.
Well, I don't know anything about it, and I haven't really got an opinion on it.
Yeah, fair.
So
I just want to see it happen. I just want to see what
I've
happens.
said what I've said.
I
anyway.
respect KSI as well for the video he made yesterday as of recording. Because obviously him and Joe had a fight, like that's how it all started, and like they're not on great terms. But he still
Yeah.
wasn't slanderous towards Joe. He still wasn't like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm glad he got fucked up." He was like respecting him, and like when he did good jabs and
then-
stuff, he was like, "Oh, that's fair, that's good training and stuff." So I respect him for that. But then also with this comes the diss track on Joe Weller by Jake Paul, which Joe Weller actually features in.
Oh yeah.
which is quite funny.
I know. When I saw that, I was like, Joe Willett explained why he did it.
Yeah, no,
but
I
thought
agree.
It's
I
a
agree
bit
with
dicey. Not dicey. What's the word?
I've missed all of this. Where have I been?
Where have you been, Reese?
No,
I was the one.
No, it happened last Saturday, and it was only released like 3 days ago, so it's not like it's a problem.
I was about to say, Reese, I was the one who was gone.
Yeah, like the way Joe explained it was, he said that he saw them filming, and he could either get mad about it and get seen on camera getting mad, or he could just go along with it and be like, you know, chill with it.
Because he was already there anyway.
And I respect that. I respect that he didn't make a massive scene out of it, and he was just like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day.
Reese is being very...
Yeah.
Not sly, but like just very sneaky and smooth throughout this whole podcast with his little
I'm not
movements.
trying to make any noise.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but you got a shock mount though. But yeah, so one thing I guess we could say is obviously, since it has been a while since we've done JRB, you're right there, Dave.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Now I'm turning into Reese.
Yeah.
Dave.
I was going to talk about Logan Paul
Oh yeah,
and
go
his
ahead.
recent documentary.
Wait, is that the Flat Earth one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
well,
do it. Let's talk about it.
that
Let's
is
talk
the
about it.
I'd like to
biggest-
talk about the fact that it is a comedy documentary.
It's a mockumentary, yeah.
Yes, a
It's the
mockumentary.
biggest
Yeah.
troll I've
Um,
ever seen.
I am kind of happy that he's done this.
I like the way he did it. I like the way how he advertised it. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is something I like believe in and stuff like that." And then when he actually got it, it was like a good twist. If you
I
know
know,
what I'm
it
saying?
is. I remember when I heard Logan Paul announcing it, I was like, I was very skeptical and very iffy when he
I
was
actually
announcing.
haven't seen it.
When he was,
Me either,
I watched it.
But I've heard HG talk
Oh.
about it. Someone talk
No,
about
I've
I've
watched-
heard that it's good and it's quite amusing.
It is.
But
Say what you
did
want.
we really need it?
Say what you want about Logan
maybe
Paul.
I'm
Then
biased.
you can say that about any piece of content.
Yeah, maybe
ever.
I'm just biased against Logan.
Literally, right. If you watch it, you will see the whole time they are just mocking and just taking the piss so much.
No, that's fair.
It is the biggest mockumentary ever.
Well, it's
really.
the dumbest.
But
theory
then that
anyway,
is
so-
quite rude in terms of the fact that you're going in going, oh yes, this, I
did-
believe you,
yeah.
blah, blah.
I did think
And
that
it's being quite rude and insulting to these people that believe in this. Then yes, I'm not on their side and I don't believe in
No,
it
yeah,
myself.
100%. I get what you're saying.
It's just kind of insulting.
That is,
really.
I know.
It's
alright.
like insulting a religion,
Right.
almost.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Right.
no, I get. Yeah, that makes sense. That's
When
probably the
I
best way
watched
to put
it-
it into words.
When I watched it, I was sitting there thinking, I did kind of feel bad for the people featured in the documentary because Logan Paul is such a massive figure. And them obviously seeing a massive figure comes, it probably makes them feel good, thinking,
also
damn,
a
someone
massive
big is supporting us. But then obviously when I was watching it, I did kind of think, while this is funny, you have got to think about it from the other end. And I did kind of think, I did feel a bit bad for some of the people featured in it, thinking that he is being genuine.
Yeah, that's wrong. Making people believe that you believe something and then being like, "Oh, yo, look at this dickhead." That's wrong.
I know that was the only problem I had with it, but then I can't help it. I can't deny that it wasn't funny.
It was funny. You mean?
Was funny, yeah.
It wasn't funny. I don't know. I
Well,
haven't seen it.
Either way, I couldn't help but laugh when I watched it
No, that's
because
fair.
I thought some of the things they were doing in it, I thought like, my god.
It's just something so ridiculous, really.
Here's the thing, I say
Like, I don't believe in it, but I can understand. Well, I can't really understand why people believe in it. But if you have your beliefs, then that's fair enough. But like,
that's what I think. And at the end of the day, I think, look, at the end of the day, believe whatever you want. I'm only if you respect me, I'm respecting you right back. Believe what you want. Obviously, if it's saying obviously really dark.
I've just thought of a meme that made me laugh.
At the end of the day, you're right to have your own beliefs. Just don't force them upon me, if you know what I mean.
No, it's the meme about the
You
flat
can
Earth.
educate me, but don't shove it down my throat.
that's one thing that is quite bad about the flat Earth kind of theory.
The flat
They
Earth, yeah.
they think they push it as, which is actually very good with Christianity and also ISIS. In terms of the fact that they actually push their belief, they think that their belief is correct and that's what everyone should believe.
Here's what I'm going
I'm
to
not saying that they are equivalent to ISIS.
No, yeah,
I'm just saying
Yeah, no, you can't
that
say that.
that's quite, it's close in terms of the fact that's what it is.
What I'm going to say is, because look, obviously, I mean, if Reese came to college one day, he wouldn't. But if he came to college one day and said to be like, oh yeah,
Flat.
I believe in a flat Earth, I wouldn't think any
Well,
less
our
of Reese.
phone's flat then.
I wouldn't think
Yeah.
any less of him.
I wouldn't think any less.
It's
I'd
just
be like,
I'd be
yeah,
like,
fair
you're
enough.
a fucking idiot.
What a fucking idiot.
I would sit there and think, fair enough, believe it won't. But if Reece started forcing that upon
No,
me,
yeah, no, definitely.
that's
I'd be
when
like,
I'd
shut
have
the
an
fuck
issue
up,
with
man.
it.
But you can say that about anything. If anyone forces an opinion on you that you don't like or believe, then
Like you
that's
can
wrong.
you can educate me and tell me why you believe it.
No. Sorry, I
I'll
said
say that again. You can educate me and tell me why you believe it, but just don't force it upon me. That's what I say.
Definitely.
Mic drop.
No, I sent a voice memo. Sorry about that.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, so do you guys have anything else to say on that?
I don't really, to be honest.
No, not really. Have we got anything else?
One thing I will say, obviously,
One
it's
thing.
been a while since we've done JRB. How have you guys been? Because I have not seen you
I've been
for
right,
a couple
actually.
weeks.
Not-
Yeah, no.
not too bad.
What have you guys been up
Hard
to?
the last couple of days. Yeah, I've been fine. I'm not gonna get into why, but
Yeah,
if you're watching this, Shannon, I love you. No reason
No,
you'll understand
no,
afterwards.
we'll
It's just
explain.
weird because I know someone called Shannon. as
Hey.
well. It's like
Big up Shannon. I'm gonna definitely get over to.
it sounds
watch this.
But
weird.
we'll go at that after the podcast. But I want to say, just how have you guys been? Obviously, I
Yeah.
think it's good in the way that we did take a bit of a break because of our final major projects.
Yeah.
That as
All
well.
the paperwork we have to do.
I mean, right now I might just after this just sit down with maybe you lot and just continue doing the work.
Well, Josh has to go.
I have to go because I got work to go.
Yeah,
he has
I
to
mean,
go to
still,
work
that's
in about-
calm.
Got responsibilities.
Yeah, he has to go to work in about 2 hours. But
Unfortunately, yeah, but I need to go eat dinner and shower and shit.
yeah, but also
When do you end work?
9 o'clock.
he's got four.
Only week after.
He's got a 4 till 9 shift.
No.
Yeah, but he'd be
I haven't
hungry.
eaten today. I literally haven't had
Oh
anything.
shit.
That's why the Pringles are looking so fucking good. Thank you.
But yeah, so
Full can as well.
Just don't eat them all.
just don't do an eating ASMR.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like gonna wait until we finish to eat them.
Right. But yeah, so anyways, it was nice catching up with you guys. Obviously,
Yeah, man.
It was nice, obviously, being able to sit here and
Oh,
record a
God.
podcast episode again. You okay?
Yeah, I just knocked the mic.
Okay.
Sorry for any like weird noises and
Reece,
stuff
it's
I've been
fine.
doing.
We'll
throughout
try our
this.
best
You got a
to.
shock mount.
Yeah, we'll try our best. Stop. We'll try our best to keep take it out in post, but
Yeah.
obviously
Genuinely-
there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, but
Well,
I think it also adds a bit of personality in
Yeah.
the actual
Yeah.
raw files.
this is why one thing I love about our podcast is sometimes low budget shows can be just as good
Yeah,
as high budget shows because I feel like a lot of low
'cause it
budget
adds a lot of
shows.
personality and character.
And it kind of you humanise yourself. You kind of show that we're people too. You know?
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
doing something we love.
Yeah,
We're on the same level as viewers in a way,
100%.
and that's one thing I think that is authentic.
Like it's all
about
fair
JRB.
enough to have a conversation with you guys, but at the end of the day, we're kind of having conversations with you. If
Yeah.
you get what it means, like we
can
throw our
engage the
opinions out there,
fans
but
as
we
well.
like if you're watching and you have an opinion or like an opinion that opposes, or if you just want to say, "Oh, I agree with you," then leave a comment down below. Click
Yep.
it.
Or
And,
even,
so
or even
that's-
if you're listening to this on the audio version, you can always follow us on
Oh,
Twitter.
100%,
On
100%.
Twitter and tweet at us.
yeah, man.
We need to get quite good at Twitter because we haven't actually touched it in a while.
I know because nope.
I'm probably gonna make an Instagram for us as well.
Yeah, I was
if
thinking
you
about
want to
doing
do
that.
that as well, I was considering. We said this in the third episode about a Facebook page, but I'm not 100% if we should do a Facebook.
No.
Anyway, we can talk about this after.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
then you guys can drop comments down
Yeah.
below
Yeah,
if you want to
obviously.
give us any ideas or
Or if anything that you want to hear us talk about, just let us know because we're more than happy
Give
to talk
our
about anything.
opinion.
Leave it in
Yeah.
the comments or tweet us on Twitter or get in contact with us
Yeah.
however you can. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Anyway,
but
I feel like we should.
yeah.
pop it
Anyways,
there.
so once again, do you guys want to say anything?
No, we do our outros and yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Josh, you do the outro.
Yeah. So thank you for watching this week's episode. They should become weekly again after Billy's operation on his eyes. We
should
have,
be back up to schedule.
Yeah, we didn't have the time, so expect an episode sometime next week. And yeah, so I've been Josh.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. Obviously, I'm Billy.
See you guys. It's been nice.
And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.